today, Toby. So I thought I'd talk about this idea of that suffering and limitation are natural. Suffering and limitation is a result of our ignorance. It's our ignorance that produces suffering and limitation. It's our ignorance that we're an individualized expression of the one. It's ignorance that doesn't know that we have a power within us that we can use to create. We have a power to create health. We have a power to create wealth. We have a power to go beyond where we are. We have a power to go beyond anything we can imagine. But it's our ignorance of not understanding, learning how to use that power to create those experiences in us. And that is because many of us have given up the idea of imagining. We don't even begin to think about imagining something greater than what we have. We think who we are and where we come from is all we can have. But the fact of the matter is, everyone is without limitation. Everyone has the ability to create more. I look at my own life. My own life is that my mother came from Sicily, an immigrant, uneducated. My father was an uneducated first-generation Polish man with a family of 10 kids. Father died when he was very young, 14 or so. Mother raised him uneducated, didn't speak the language. So I could have been like that. Instead, for whatever reason, my imagination said, there's so much more to life than that. And so I far exceeded where my mom and dad had achieved. Beyond them mentally, emotionally, physically, financially, spiritually. And the thing about that is that I continue to do that. Because I use my imagination every day and ask the question, who do I desire to be today? What do I desire to do? What's going to give me great pleasure, give me great joy? What's going to light me up? How can I serve more and more people? And I ask that question all the time. Why? Because when I ask myself that question, I become empowered. And when I become empowered, I'm a creator. And you see, that's the thing to embrace, is that we are creators. And if you embrace that, you realize that limitation is a belief that you're not a creator. Suffering is a belief that you're not worthy. Suffering is a choice. Suffering and pain are very different. Suffering is an emotional response to something that occurs or to a person, situation. Some people like to take suffering with them from something that happened 20, 30, 40 years ago and keep it alive. That's a choice, isn't it? You can create a new life. Something could have happened 5 minutes ago, and from that, you can begin to create a new life that's different than what the event was, because it's all part of how you view it. It's a part of how you think. If you want an expanded life experience, you've got to begin to think expanded thoughts. You've got to create expanded emotions associated with those thoughts. You've got to hold those expanded thoughts, hold those expanded emotions, and in doing so, create a mental atmosphere. And when you create a mental atmosphere, guess what happens? The universe, that power, that law that creates, is always creating, simply responds to who you are. It's not like you beg. It's not like you beseech. It's not that you have a right time or right place. No. The law that creates responds to who you are. So if you're suffering, it's because you have a mentality that suffering is the thing for you. If you're limited, well, you have a belief in limitation. I don't know what that is for you. You have to discern that. You have to be able to discern whether or not you can have more. Are you worthy of more? Of course you are. Why would you think you're not worthy of more? So many people will say to me, Lee, I'm not worthy of a better relationship than the one I have. Well, that's because you don't believe yourself to be worthy of enough. Your view of yourself is your view of how relationships with others are going to come. Your view of yourself is going to be how relationships with money are going to come, how relationship with health are going to come, because it's all about what is your level of awareness. What is your level of awareness? That's a big thing. That's why my number one value in the world, in my life, is to become more aware. My great mission in life is to help people, to teach humanity to become more aware, to teach humanity how to better self-love through conscious living. Conscious living is living with awareness. The more aware you are, the more self-discovery you have. The more self-discovery you have, the more powerful you are. The more powerful you are, you don't see limitation, and you don't have a clue what it's like to be a victim. Work on that. Become that person that imagines, that builds their self-worth, and know it's a lifelong journey. And when you know it's a lifelong journey, you revel in every moment. Until tomorrow, Toby and I want to tell you, we love you and we accept you just like you are. So make it a great day, everyone. Until tomorrow, aloha.